We on it. What's the deal? It's your folks, Shocker the Urban Philosopher. Wanted to share my thoughts with y'all real quick. So yeah, I wanted to catch up on that Ryan Coogler situation. I wanted to catch up on that whole Ryan Coogler situation, y'all. Yeah, if y'all don't know, I think like about 5 days ago or whatever, he was accused of something like suspected of robbing a bank or something like that. But I have reason to believe that whole situation was staged, and that is why I'm making this video today. And so, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. You know, first off, y'all, this ain't the first time a so-called black celebrity has had issues at Bank of America. Y'all know that I made a short about Bootsy and his interaction at Bank of America. So that's the number one thing, you know what I'm saying? And then number two, well, that ain't the number one thing, but I want to call attention to that. But number one, you know what I'm saying? I thought that it was very interesting, you know, just how it all played out. For example, how the cop drew his gun, okay? It was almost just for shock value, y'all. I really believe this stuff was staged. Like when they came in, okay, there was one cop on the other side just standing there. And when the cop actually pointed to Ryan Coogler and told the other cop that it was him, Ryan Coogler is not armed. You know what I'm saying? He's not armed. And his hands is out. But the cop still kind of like pulls his gun and then puts it back in his holster. And I thought that it was very interesting because the dude, Ryan Coogler, later on in the interaction, had called attention to the fact that he heard a Glock being pulled, okay? And that's all he heard, you know? And so that was very suspect. And then when you look at the fact that you're Ryan Coogler, okay, and we're going to talk about why was he in there anyway doing that, but you're in there with a mask on and sunglasses, okay? It didn't occur to you at all that you're walking into a bank like that. I mean, that just didn't add up. You know what I'm saying? But number two, when they got him outside, they were asking him to explain himself, and he was doing way too much talking. And for him to be Ryan Coogler, I would expect for him to know that you don't say anything to the cops. Okay? You just don't. And a note to you brothers out there, if you don't know, cops can't do shit but arrest you. They can't do nothing. If they apprehend you and they get to telling you, hey, just give me something and I can pass it to the judge, they can't do none of that. They get you in the room, they tell you that, they can't do none of that. The only thing they can do is arrest you and take down any information you will willingly give them. Okay? So, you know, if you come in contact with them, okay, if it's a measly ticket and the cop, you know, kind of want to hear, you know, your explanation, you might get out of a little speed ticket or something like that, then that ain't a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But in any type of any other situation, especially a situation like this, there is no talking. You know what I'm saying? You need to take me down to the station and my lawyer will meet you there. You know what I'm saying? I got it to bail out or whatever, you know, and he's expected to know that. But he's sitting around here doing all that explanation, giving all that backstory. It was staged, man. It was staged. And then number three, I kept going back to look, y'all. He never removed his mask. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell y'all something. Just going back, a serious situation like this, they are probably going to take him down to make sure he is who he is and that he wasn't holding on to somebody else's stuff. You know what I'm saying? That it ain't a guy that kidnapped a star or something like that. They would have took him down. But what was very interesting was he never removed his mask. They never asked him to remove his mask so that they can identify who he was. But if y'all paid attention, that the dude asked him if he wanted to drop his mask so he can breathe, and he was like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It was just, it was kind of like they were putting some of these things in there to kind of let y'all know that they're telling you a stage. But number 4, it absolutely made no sense that this dude Ryan Coogler had to be the one there pulling out money, you know what I'm saying, out of the account to pay someone in cash. First off, having to pay a medical professional over $10,000 in cash, you know what I'm saying, and you're Ryan Coogler, supposed to be a boss or something like that, and you're down there doing that. You know, y'all know, every time I think about these things, you know, I told y'all in that Young Dolph video about how what made Diddy, a big part of what made Diddy an icon, interestingly, was him sending those band members down there for that cheesecake. I believe Freddie P. ass was then in that group too. I could be wrong. But that was part of what made him, you know what I'm saying, the icon. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because, number 1 is because, shoot, Diddy is Diddy. He's Puff Daddy. He's not about to be walking or going to go get his own cheesecake. But on other notes, for security reasons and everything, you never know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? And you being the person that you are, you're supposed to be thinking like that. We expect him to think like that, okay? And so for you to be the boss, it didn't really add up that you were down there getting $10,000 in cash. You know what I'm saying? Just out in the open like that. It just didn't make no sense to me, man. It just really didn't add up, you know. But the number 5 thing was, listen, if you're under arrest, you leave. I mean, if you're not under arrest, you leave. It was like I tell y'all before, it's strange they didn't arrest him. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not under arrest, you leave. And it was kind of like he wasn't under arrest and he was sitting there, and that's what you ask the cops. A cop come in contact with y'all or come in contact with you or whatever, you ask them, am I under arrest or am I free to go? Okay, if the cops say you under arrest, go back to what I told y'all. Take me down, we'll get out, figure out there. I'm not about to incriminate myself or escalate this situation here, okay? But if you're not under arrest, you just leave. And he was kind of just still sitting around there, still trying to make his case to a bunch of pawn cops that's going to just follow orders, period. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all of that stuff that I seen y'all had me to believe it was staged. And a lot of people will ask, well, why is it staged? I keep telling y'all, and I said this on a video some months ago, these people maintain their power by continuing to tell y'all that the issue is the so-called white supremacists. The white supremacy that's going on. You know what I'm saying? White supremacy does not have a target. And how white supremacy works is that in order for it to be fixed and resolved, you have to look to the very people who are practicing it to change in order for things to change. Basically, that keeps them in power. That's what allows them to keep power, man. And so, but we're living in a time where people are starting to look at that as bedrock. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like, oh, just another case. And if it goes like that, they lose their power. So they're finding themselves having to, stage this stuff even more. I mean, they've always done it, but they're just going overtime and they're kind of being sloppy with it as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is, and check out that video that I made. And for y'all who follow the channel, at least when I started this one back up, y'all can remember that one dude who pulled up faking like he was the theatrical killmonger, and he was yapping that B1 stuff that they be talking over there out of that FBA, all of that theatrical stuff. This guy you know what I'm saying, who was exposed as being white by the so-called brother Divine Intellect, or by the brother Divine Intellect. He was always trying to direct things back to, you know what I'm saying, so-called white supremacy. He was always trying to keep it there. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because they know that that's where they keep their power. You know what I'm saying? There are more so-called white people out here, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? The ones that don't want so-called black people to win out here and African American people to win out here, they are more willing to come to the table and talk in depth about so-called white people being white supremacists. Okay, because they understand the game on a 3D level. They understand that that's where they keep power at. And so that's what it is. And that's why it's being aired all the way all around the newses and stuff like that. This old sloppy, staged out stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, Ron Coogler. No Oscar vote from me. Okay, you didn't win one. All right. But I'm going to leave it there, y'all. Comment below. You know what I'm saying? Like this information, but hit the sub button and the bell. We dropping shit y'all like. It's your folks, Shaka the Urban Philosopher. I'm out.